Welcome to Born for this Race, a home service podcast, and I'm your host, Mandeep Bhalla. Today, we have an amazing guest, James Hatfield, Chief Revenue Officer at LiveSwitch. James has been a key driver in transforming the way businesses use real-time video communication and helping companies from startups to Fortune 500 connect with customers and streamline their processes. Before LiveSwitch, James led the creation of a gaming changing customer buying experience at IQVIA and served as president of sales at Sageworks. Today, we are diving into how LiveSwitch is changing the game for businesses in every industry. James, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Mandeep. I'm excited to be here and look forward to discussing how home services are being disrupted with technology.
Yeah, I think when we talked about before our podcast a conversation, and when you showed everything about LiveSwitch, and I think the audience, the home service industry audience, they're gonna love it. They're gonna fall in love with the technology that you guys have built. It's phenomenal. But before we dive into that, it will be great if you can, share about you, who you are, uh, kind of maybe quick journey about you, James.
Oh, yeah. Well, it all starts with family, right? And we all call, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Well, my grandfather, unfortunately, he lost his father when he was a young man, when he was
Wow.
just a young teenager, but he was the oldest of all the brothers and sisters. So he had to become the man of the house, and he dropped out of high school to start working at a tire shop. And so his dream for me as his grandson was like, James, I want you to paint the highways, get the biggest machine you can and paint the high. That was his big dream for me.
Mhm.
I didn't paint the highways, but I did open a painting company, residential painting. We also did power washing, and that's how I got going. That's how I started making ends meet. And then eventually I put myself through college with that business as well, because I felt like I needed a business degree to really scale and grow my company and understand my budget, understand how to take care, attract employees, how to make big businesses. And so I'm grateful for my grandfather giving me that recommendation. And now dating myself, but 25, 30 years later, I've gone through that journey and now into tech companies, financial companies, and nonprofits. I never forget my roots, knocking on doors,
Mhm.
going around and painting houses and power washing houses with my crews. That really was a great business.
That's amazing. What a great story. And I can relate to this because my dad was into trades. He was into doors and windows. And now we both are serving home service industry. And I think God has a plan. And I think you know, home service industry, that's in my DNA and that's in your DNA, which is fantastic. And yeah, love it. Thank you for sharing. And what's been your proudest moment at LiveSwitch? Let's talk about LiveSwitch and your proud moment.
Yeah, it starts with a story. So I'm also a product and an inventor. I come from inventors as well, and we when we had this company, we still do, obviously. I started off working with the chief of police in Washington, D.C. to reinvent the 911 phone call.
Oh
Because
wow.
now when you make a 911 phone call, it's all audio, right?
Right.
And your worst part of your phone is the phone. Of all things, it's the worst part because it's on ancient technology called telephony. Well, now in the future, when you make a 911 call, you'll get a text on your phone, you'll
Yeah.
tap it, and then you can point that camera at the situation so the police car can see what they're driving into. It's called situational awareness. And
Wow.
so while working to reinvent that, I was like, well, who else could use this tap a text technology? Well, of course, go back to my roots, home services. And I
Yeah.
met a guy in the moving industry, really serious guy. He puts on conferences. He's one of the foremost movers in the world. And he said, James, you have no idea what you've got. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, we will use this to do remote estimates. I know we'll no longer drive out. We'll just use it, have the homeowner walk around the house, show us around, and we'll quote it and bid it quickly. And he was right. And hundreds of home service companies all over the world have been using our stuff. So the proud moment is having woken up at 3 in the morning, like with the aha, drawing this out, and starting to
Hmm.
work with our engineers building this, and now talking to home service companies every day that use it every single day. And I think for me, proud papa,
Proud
uh,
Papa.
proud papa.
Yeah, that's amazing. And the technology is great. And I think the example that you gave about the police, that's like, incredible. And imagine, like, if this live switch, that like live software, home service industry, they can leverage it. And I think that's gonna be game changer for the entire home service industry. Like it could be for any, I think HVAC, plumbing, electrical, right? Do you agree that?
And we already have all those as customers. And where I always like to go back to the beginning, right? Because in the beginning, when we started working with the moving companies, there was a gal who was in Atlanta. She
Mhm.
was the top salesperson for this larger moving company. Well, she had a baby and she could no longer drive around town. So she had to figure out, how do I maintain and be the best salesperson at my home service company when I can't drive around? Well, she got her hands on our technology. And not only did she hit her numbers that she was hitting, but she did even better because she could do more bids every day right from her house. And so, needless to say, it changed her bottom line, changed her
Yeah.
family, and she was able to continue on with her job. And we have many, many folks, and we even have people overseas bidding into the United States for home service companies because of this technology, which is really wild to me to even
Wow.
think about. Because
Wow.
I started off knocking on doors, man, deep. I was like, knock, 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 local
Yeah.
painter here. That's where I started. So now thinking someone can bid a job half a world away and they
Yeah.
do a great job, it blows my mind.
Yeah, that's really impressive. Like, and on top of that, like, ch impacting lives and bringing revenue with this technology and making it easier. That's phenomenal. And I'm thinking about, about this technology in the 5 years. So like, how do you think video communication will change in the next about 5 years?
I think you're just as much as you're commonplace texting, calling people, it'll be common for using video, not just for video conferencing. Thanks to COVID, everybody learned how to do that. And I'm
Yeah.
glad COVID is gone and in the rear view.
Yeah.
But now the pure disruption of your business with live video, because now everybody has a smartphone. See, we didn't
Yes.
have smartphones. We didn't have these high quality video cameras. And my phone has like four cameras on it. I mean, there's cameras everywhere. We
Yeah.
have just begun to learn how to use this and use it effectively for sales, for operations, for after the work is done, and then also for follow up. It's going to be used from end to end, and you won't recognize your home services business in the next 5 years. You're going to be like, I wish I
Mm.
had done this earlier, is what people typically tell us.
Yeah, that's a game changer. And I think when you were showing about live switch to me, I think it was yesterday. Like let's say on the website, if your live streaming is there, you can easily connect with the customers. But let's say, technician is out there and performing job, and if customer has to actually coordinate with the CSR about the sales and everything to go through with the, maybe maintenance plans and all, I think that was phenomenal. Do you want to share that with our audience so that they can understand what exactly happening?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that are going to happen. So let's say I've won the job and I'm going on site, and maybe you're sending one of your techs out there, and we ask our techs to do a lot, right? Not only do they need to fix the piping or put in the new unit or whatever you ask them to do,
Yeah.
now they also have to sell, upsell, close them. You're asking them to do so much. And of course, there's wonderful techs out there that can do it all and they love it. There's other techs out there, Mandeep, that don't want to talk to a single soul. They're like, I don't want to deal with the customer. I just want to fix the stuff, get
Yes.
paid, and go home. Right. But we ask our
Yeah.
guys to do that. So now what you can do is take your best salesperson, and they can be centralized either at their home office or in your office or half a world away. And your tech can walk in and hand an iPad, a tablet, doesn't have to be an iPad, a tablet
Tablet.
to your customer and hit
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Then your customer gets to talk right back to the customer success person. Your tech, we're going to go, hey, I'm just going to go start fixing the piping. But now your customer service person can not only collect the cash, but start
Mm.
upselling them. Hey, we're already on site looking at the unit. Is there any other maintenance that needs to be done? Have you thought about this? Do you want to change your filter? Like, you want your salesperson to get the most cash when you've already got a guy on site, as well as close your premium memberships and membership programs so you can get your
Right.
recurring revenue going. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the innovation that our
Yeah.
customers are doing with the membership programs.
Yeah, that's something, no, thanks for sharing. And This is a game changer. And I agree. There are like, technicians out there, they just want to focus on like, doing the job, and they might not be good with sales, but this like eliminates that process. And while technician is doing that work and somebody is already connected via video, via live switch to the office. And I think that's smart. That's smart. I think this is definitely going to bring innovation. So I wanted to ask you, you have had experience with both startups and large enterprises. What's the difference in how they approach technology and innovation?
The larger the company, the slower they go, is what I've seen,
Okay.
because they're training so many new people. And the
Mm,
problem with most technology out there, it's too hard. It's too difficult. You've got to take a class. It has thousands of features. And, when I get on my mower, I just want to hit the go button and cut the grass. I don't need to know how the engine works, right?
mm,
But now software is, you're finding yourself with all kinds of stuff. We got guys flying drones. We've got all these CRM systems. We've got our bookkeeping systems. It makes me want to pull my hair out. I used to do my business with a clipboard and a pencil. I think people can relate, put it on a whiteboard, get it done. And now we've got technology for everything. So our approach to technology, because I was a power washer painting, one of my partners owned a landscaping company. We want to make it as easy as a phone call. Simple. Remember the Nextel walkie-talkie, Mandeep? Everybody had
yeah.
one of those things. Whatever happened to those? But now I want to be able to just hit a button. So our stuff is as easy as, if you can send a text, and if you can tap a text, you can
Mm,
use it. That's it. We don't need, look, artificial intelligence, all that stuff. It's coming. It's great. I love it. But if I can't use it, it's
mm,
worthless to me. If my customer can't use it, and
yeah.
not all customers are tech savvy, as we know, they
Yeah.
just need to be able to tap and show the camera. That is it. And then I can get to work and I can see what's going on. And
Mm,
it needs to be easy. It takes less than 5 minutes to learn our technology. I have people using it the same day. That is what I want to challenge all tech companies. If you own a tech company right now, you're listening to this, make your stuff easier, please. All of
yeah.
us home service guys are asking for it. I promise.
Yeah.
Make it easy.
Yeah, I think this is, I think, a biggest like, challenge. Home service industry, they love technology, but make it like simple. Look at these iPhones, right? I think it's easy to use. You can download the apps, use it. So user friendly, right? I think the more it is complicated, I think it's difficult to use, and then people are not going to use it. They're gonna stay
No.
back, and I
Nobody
think,
wants another app. I don't want another app. We don't even do apps. When your
yeah.
customer gets a text, they tap it and you're connected. There's no app. No one wants to stop, go to the app store, put in their password, wait for the thing to download.
Hmm.
It's annoying. So we just
Yeah.
get rid of it. Forget it. No one wants that.
just
So
just just a widget, and just press go. That's it, right?
yeah, press go. That is it. Go. I want to go and get the money as fast as I can. And that's what this is all about. Because
Hmm.
historically, what happens is you call up or you go on and put your information, and then you get
Hmm.
a call. I mean, you try to call home service companies now, it goes right to the phone tree. Oh,
Hmm.
sorry, we're on job right now. Leave your
Yeah.
phone message after the phone and we'll call you. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to call the next guy. And then
Yeah.
when I call and get a hold of somebody, like, oh, we'll send our budgeting guy out there and proposal guy out there next week. Would Tuesday work? Well, then the customer has to wait around on Tuesday. If I got 4 kids or I got to step away from my job, I don't want to do that as a customer. All I
Hmm.
want to do is I need my pipe fix. I want to know how much is it? When are you going to be here? And do you got 5 stars on Google? That's what I need to know. And so
Yeah.
speed to lead is what we call it. We want you, and everyone calls it speed to lead. You want to get on there and give the quote and get the money and book that technician and get them out there. Welcome to
Mhm.
Amazon. Nobody goes to the mall anymore. I just want to
Yeah.
tap on the
Mhm.
thing and it shows up.
Yeah, it
Same
shows
thing
up.
for home services. That's what people want.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, yeah, I think speed to lead is everything.
I want to give a special shout out to Rilla, the sales coaching AI software that holds the technicians accountable and gives them the support and guidance they need to maximize all the opportunities you spend your hard-earned money on. Our friends at Elite Call, the outbounding specialists, a service that brings wasted leads and brings them back to life to create more opportunity and keep the dispatch board full, integrate them right there into Service Titan for you.
I want to give special shout out to Grow Reviews, one of our sponsors, America's first platform to capture instant text and video reviews. If a picture is 1,000 words, a video is worth a million. Book a demo with Grow Reviews by visiting website www.growreviews.com, and you can get in touch with their sales reps to book a demo. And now Amazon, like yeah, that's a great example here. I ordered something, last night, and guess what? This morning, like showed up, and the way that they have actually, improved their overall like logistics and everything, it's phenomenal. uh I was thinking like, there should be a tagline. I don't know if it's there. Life switch, let's go. Like simple, it's go, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Love.
I wanted to put on billboards.
Yeah.
Why are you driving to bid like a caveman?
Yeah.
You don't need to do that anymore. And it's the most expensive thing that and least productive thing, most expensive, least productive thing you ask your team to do. You're
Hmm.
putting a salesperson or one of your techs in a truck that you have to put gas in. There's wear and tear on the vehicle. You're
Yeah.
spending hourly cash for someone to drive. Now you do it because you want the business, because that's
Right.
how we've done it. You hop in the truck, you go out and you bid it. That's what we've been doing for years. You don't have to do that anymore. You can do it right from the comfort behind the computer and
Hmm.
or in the like I could be on job and do this from my phone while I'm on a job bidding the next job. And
Hmm.
the customer gets the bid quickly. You get an accurate bid because now you get to see stuff. Because when people are trying to explain it to you over the phone, have you ever had inaccurate bids because you blind bid? If you're
Hmm.
blind bidding, and no, I know you've done it for 20 years, but I'm challenging you that when you get to use your eyes and your ears,
Hmm.
and here's the thing that's a game changer and what we've seen from the data. When people are tapping on their keyboard, chatting, or on the phone, the close rate in any home service industry is around 30%, give or take the talent of your salesperson.
Hmm.
When you go
30%.
on site and they can see your face, or you're
Hmm.
on live video and they can see your face, your close rate is 60%. So just you're doubling your close rate. I want to, when the person goes on my website or calls my phone, I want to connect and have a human connection instantly and close that cache. That's what I want to do as a business owner. That's what your
Hmm.
customer wants.
That's
It's
amazing.
a beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing. And I think we talked about this. I know, you're impacting, generating a lot of revenue for home service industry, but I think any business, like, they want to close the deals. Even like we are a digital marketing agency. If somebody comes and if that's the option right there to actually speak to someone like live on video, oh my God, look at the conversion rate. What it's gonna be phenomenal. And I think I had this question that I asked you before, and for the audience, let's say Monday through Friday, someone is definitely going to be available if anyone wants to connect from that, like, live video from the website. What happens in the, like, evening, after hours, or over the weekend? I think there is something that you mentioned to me.
Yeah. So what our customers are doing, because you got people that are now back in the office,
Yeah.
can't really be at home to get a quote until it's like 7 p.m. And you don't have any salespeople that are trying to drive out at 7 p.m. to bid on business. They want to go home to their family.
Yeah.
Okay. So now on your website, what you can have is a very simple QR code that somebody can scan, put
Mhm.
in their information, but now take a recorded video for you. So they'll go around, they can, hey, this is what I need to have done. You'll get a notification, and in the morning, your salesperson can review it, call back that customer, close the deal in the morning. And what's not just the customer giving you their information, their phone number, which getting their phone number is the gold, right? But now they're giving you a video. They're even more committed to you, and they didn't have to scroll through all the pictures of their family. They just hit the go button. Nothing is saved on their device. It goes right into your cloud, and you get to review it. You can even review it at 2x speed if you're fast, and
Mhm.
then call back and get that deal. And it
Yeah.
does a couple things. One, allows you to bid around the clock, get leads coming in while you're sleeping. And
Mhm.
two, it expands your serviceable radius. Serviceable radius means like, hey, I only want to drive so far to bid on something. Maybe I'm willing to drive at the most an hour away from my home base just to
Right.
bid. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to win. But now you can bid. Are you willing, if you can win the job, to drive an hour and a half? Let's say the job's won, you have the money in the bank. Will you drive an hour and a half? Will you drive a couple hours because those jobs are big enough? Now you can do that with virtual bidding. You're expanding your serviceable radius, again, getting more cash, and then also while you sleep. So these things can all be solved adding video into your different parts of your business.
That's amazing. And that's why I love videos, like, podcast, and, sharing information like in the form of video. That's like more powerful than the picture or words. It's a game changer. I know a lot of technology is out there, AI and all, but no one can replace this, like, live human video. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. I
And
mean, if you can
yeah,
close the business with a computer and artificial intelligence, awesome. Do it.
yeah,
Like I recommend it. But you're always going to have a need for a human at times to really connect with the individual and get that trust and close that deal. And the other thing it's going to do for you is everything is recorded. So you have the instant replay. You ever had a customer or come out and now let's say they said, oh, well, the salesperson said I'd also be getting this and
mm,
no extra cost. Well, a lot of us just eat it, like, "Oh, I guess I'll just do it," or maybe challenge it a little bit. Well, now you can just check the instant replay, say, no, 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 here's our bid. We
mm,
bid on this part of the work. We did not bid on that part of the work. Now I'm happy to bid that as well, but it keeps things honest. It also covers your backside. If you're doing before and afters, if you're looking at the video, claims, people
yeah,
come back, oh, you scratched this or you broke that. Well, it was already broken. You see the video before we even touched it, it's time stamped,
yeah,
or if you did make a mistake, your tech did, you've got it recorded.
yeah,
Or for training, like, why are we closing like we're getting lots of leads? What? Well, let's check the videotape. Oh, you need to
mm,
ask for the money. Let's close. Let's do it like this. Or whole training things like, oh, didn't we see this problem before? Let's review that and have my tech review that. Or what have we done on property for the last year? Maybe you've been servicing that property for a couple of years. You can go back or 2 years ago and
yeah,
review the video and say, oh, yep, this is what we did. That's the unit we put in. Oh, even there's a serial number. So it just starts to weave into all these different parts of what you're doing. And you don't know what you need until you start using it.
yeah, exactly. And I think once you start like using it, you'll explore new world. And I'm curious, like, do you like store all the videos like from the past, or it recycles? What happens?
Yeah, everything is stored as indefinitely, as much as you want, and nothing is even stored on your employees' devices. So if you have a ultra awesome salesperson and they've got all these
Mm.
videos and maybe they leave or start their own company, you've
Yeah,
got it all recorded and you don't ever have to worry, and you can go back to it whenever you need it. So yeah, we have unlimited storage for our
that's
customers.
that's amazing. In your view, what's the biggest like challenge facing leaders today, especially in the tech industry, and how do you address it in your own leadership style?
Yeah, we're hit with a lot of change, technology, new staff, new
Yeah,
things are changing, equipment all the time, new, right? So
yeah,
keeping up is hard. So what I recommend for even myself, for anybody, is to have a board of directors. These are your thought leaders, the people
yeah,
that hey, if I call Mandeep, he's seen this before. You don't have to be the first mover. You can have a circle around you. And also not just people that have their same businesses, but
mm,
vendors that you trust. Now, sometimes there's bad eggs out there and vendors that are just trying to squeeze every dollar out of you. That's
yeah,
annoying. But there's a
mhm,
lot of good vendors out there that these guys are getting in front of tons and tons of owners, and
mhm.
they become a source of knowledge for you. And
You're right.
a lot of my business owners that are on the front lines that I consider thought leaders in their industry, they'll say, hey, James, I have my mastermind group and I also have my mastermind group of vendors. And that's where I'm getting all of my knowledge, getting to see what really works, what stinks, and then also ask the questions like, what do I do first? What do I do next? And building that circle is only going to help you, but you've got to also give back. You've got to, pass
Mm,
the baton as
yeah,
well. So not only just taking from that community in your mastermind group, but giving, what are you learning and pay it forward. So I would say that's something I would highly challenge everyone. If you don't have your board of directors, I'm a Star Wars nerd, so I call it my Jedi Council. So like,
uh,
get your Jedi Council out there, have your Yoda giving you advice and put them in your corner. That's going to be a game changer.
powerhouse, powerhouse. Thank you. And I think we're gonna wrap up with this last question. Good stuff. This is amazing. You have worked with both startups and Fortune 500 companies, right? What are some of key leadership lessons you have learned from these different environments? How do you adapt your approach depending on the company size and stage?
Yeah. So again, if you got your board of directors, your Jedi Council, use that. I got a lot of books behind here, Mandeep.
Yeah, I see
Like
that.
there's nothing new here.
Mhm,
So I am leveraging these books I
mhm,
have books that I read 20 years ago
mhm,
that I implement stuff in today. big business, like how do I track my data? Am I leveraging that data to make solid business decisions? How are you tracking your data? You can be a small company, a mom and pop, and track your data. Knowing my data is huge. Having a library of books, put podcasts in between your ears, like what you're doing, Mandeep, is huge for the community. Everyone should be, if you are in your vehicle, don't turn on the music. It's that's your mobile classroom. Again, driving is the least productive thing. So the most thing you can do is put on those audiobooks from Audible, or Spotify, put Mandeep in between your ears, who he's, and that's how you're going to help, whether you're at a Fortune 500 or you're a mom and pop who just got started like I was knocking on doors. That's how I just stay equipped and stay on the forefront, is putting good stuff in between my ears.
That's amazing. And I'm a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm sure you have heard of his name. And his podcast, like, inspired me the most. And I started this company, Grow Nearby, and another company product, which is Grow Reviews. It's I think it's underrated. It's like there is a lot of power there in podcasts, and I'm glad that you mentioned while driving, yeah, listen to podcasts. Like whatever inspires you the most, whatever you can learn. And I think yeah, that's the transformation out there. If you go out and listen and apply, that's definitely a game changer. So, James, if you want to share how home service industry owners, those who are listening to this podcast, can reach out for a quick demo and how to use this live switch, because it's a game changer. Like if you want to share, we can link everything in the description.
Oh, great. Thank you. So easy to get a hold of. If you go to LiveSwitch, LiveSwitch.com, you'll have the ability just to book a demo. You'll probably come. Sometimes I take some sales calls. I got a great sales team that you'll probably get hooked up with, and they'll let you touch it, try it. We have 7-day trials for you to really get in front of your prospects and make sure you're comfortable with it. We'll walk you through everything. Getting started is simple. Also, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm always on we love to give back. We're educators. So you're going to find that I have plenty of content. I've got content around marketing. I've got content around cash flow, hiring and firing, all kinds of good stuff, bonusing that you can apply. So we're educators. In fact, one of my partners and I, they run a nonprofit called Inmates to Entrepreneurs, putting thousands and thousands of currently and previously incarcerated men and women through our programs to help them start businesses, because people don't usually like to hire people with a record. So we're here for you. We've got plenty of education. We're not just a tech company. So reach out. We can connect you to all the right people too if you're looking for some help. But please reach out. Be happy to do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, for sharing that. And I want to give quick shout out to our sponsors, Rilla. It's a game changer when it comes to voice to text. Rilla is definitely a game changer. AI software helping home service industry. Another shout out I want to give it to Elite Call. If you haven't used outbound services, make sure you check out Elite Call and Grow Reviews, the power of getting instant text and video reviews. Just wanted to thank everyone, those who have been supporting our podcast. Thank you for all the love and support. This means a lot to us. And again, thank you so much, James, for coming on our show. This was great, and can't wait to release this episode. I think this is going next week. Thank you so much.